Jason, I'm going to read a story to you today. Pull Your Own Weight, a really strong story for kids. Johnny was a kindergartner, but his cousin Jamal was a senior in high school and a star running back on the football team. Johnny always looked up to Jamal and hoped one day that he too would be a star athlete, with his picture in the newspaper and people talking about him on television. Everyone thought Jamal was really cool. One day after supper, Jamal and Johnny were wrestling around on the living room floor. When the action slowed down and they were each catching their breath, Johnny said, "I want to be just like you when I grow up, Jamal. Do you think I will be?" Jamal thought for a moment before he answered. Finally he said, "Johnny, if you really want to be strong like me, it's up to you. If you play your cards right, you'll be strong in all kinds of ways. And if you play your cards wrong, you'll probably be weak. Now, which would you rather be, Johnny, weak or strong?" Johnny just smiled and said, "I want to be strong just like you, Jamal, but I don't understand what you mean about the cards. What do you mean when you say I have to play my cards right?" "You gotta set a goal and practice regularly to be strong." "Okay, Johnny, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about so you'll understand. One way to get strong is by setting a goal and doing exercises, like, for example, pull-ups, right? Now, I have lots of friends in my school who hate pull-ups, but it's because they're weak. They weigh too much, and they can't do pull-ups. So when the coach puts them on the pull-up bar and they can't do anything but hang, and they get totally embarrassed. But personally, I love pull-ups because I'm strong, light, and I can do lots of them. You could say I'm a star on the pull-up bar," said Jamal with a cool smile. "But one of the reasons I'm strong and light is that I've practiced doing pull-ups twice a week ever since I was in 5th grade, when I decided that I wanted to be able to do more than anyone else in my class, which I did, because I was the only one who practiced doing them. Now, 7 years later, after I've made little slices of progress every week, every month, every year, I look back and see that all those little slices of progress were added up to a great big pile of progress, especially if you compare me to others who never practiced pull-ups. Lots of my fellow students think I'm just a natural. What they don't know is that anyone can be really strong on the pull-up bar if they just practice regularly over a long period of time. It's that simple." "So," Johnny said, "if I practice regularly, I'll get strong like you, right, Jamal?" "You gotta eat right." "Well, that's the first and most important part of the recipe," replied Jamal. "But there are 3 more things that we need to talk about here, Johnny. First, we need to talk about the things you eat. That's really important, too. For example, if you eat lots of junk food, like chips, soda pop, fries, and candy, you'll be depriving your body of the nutrition it needs to get really strong. Not only that, junk food tends to make you overweight, even fat. And the more you weigh, the harder it is to pull your own weight, to do pull-ups. So it's really important that you eat the right foods if you really want to get strong. Understand, Johnny?" "Yeah, I understand, Jamal," said Johnny. "So I should practice doing pull-ups every week, eat right, and I'll get strong just like you, right, Jamal?" "You gotta get your rest." "Hang on, Johnny. There are still 2 more things we need to talk about. You see, as important as regular practice and good eating habits are, it's also really important to get enough rest if you really want to get strong. Your body needs time to recover from work. That's why you only practice pull-ups twice a week, 3 times at the most. If you do more than that, you won't recover enough to get really strong. Not only that, but you have to get to bed at night in order to get enough sleep. Lots of kids try to stay up too late and get up too early, and they don't get enough rest. They can't build the muscles necessary to be strong. Got it? Got it, Jamal. But you said there's one more thing, right? What is that? And you've got to avoid tobacco, alcohol, and drugs. The last thing you need to know is that even though lots of kids today think they're cool, things like cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs make you weak, not strong. The fact is that anybody can smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, and do drugs. That doesn't take any talent. But the acquaintances that I know who are into that stuff just get weaker and weaker. In other words, those kids can't pull their own weight in any way. Not only that, they're afraid to try for fear of failing, just like those kids who are embarrassed by being on the pull-up bar. Their fear causes them to escape and to become weak in all kinds of ways. The last thing you need to know is that even though lots of kids today think they're cool, things like cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs make you weak, not strong. The fact is that anybody can smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, and do drugs. That doesn't take any talent. But the acquaintances that I know who are into that stuff just get weaker and weaker. In other words, those kids can't pull their own weight in any way. Not only that, they're afraid to try for fear of failing, just like those kids who are embarrassed by being on the pull-up bar. Their fear causes them to escape and to become weak in all kinds of ways. But if you practice regularly over a long period of time, eat right, get your rest, and stay away from things that make you weak, you will be a star at almost everything you do, Johnny. You mean I'll be strong at everything? I'll be strong at everything? Will getting strong on the pull-up bar make me better in other stuff too, Jamal? Good question, Johnny, Jamal replied. And the answer is that the same habits that make you strong on the pull-up bar, like regular practice, good eating, and getting enough rest, will help make you strong at anything else that you really want to do. You just have to decide what's important, practice regularly, eat right, get enough rest, and over time you'll see those thin slices of progress piling up into big chunks of progress that will make you strong in all those things that you choose to do. And that's called pulling your own weight in all kinds of ways, he added. So now, do you understand what I said about playing your cards right, Johnny? And do you understand that whether you become strong or weak is pretty much up to you? And do you also understand that it's up to you to choose those things that'll make you strong and to avoid those things that'll make you weak? The better you are at making those choices, Johnny, the stronger you'll be in everything, right? Got it, said Johnny with a great big smile. Now, said Jamal, let me show you how to handle that pull-up bar, and you'll be pulling your own weight before you know it. The end.